Tonight I'm going to give you a demonstration of Team 33 Project Redfish. First I will take you through the software. I'll spin up a Node.js instance and serve up the landing page, then go through the index page and what we've changed, and then show you the status page of some of the future stuff we're working on. So first, let me spin up the Node server. So now go to localhost. So we completely changed the front page. Originally it was only set up to connect to one target. We now have it set up to be able to connect to multiple targets. But we do not have the capability to connect to multiple targets because the testing environment only has one. So then we added this table of our new connections. We created the load targets connection screen. We created the edit targets connection screen. And then we also created a save targets, which would save out everything that's in the table. We also did the add targets so that you could add in a new target. We created the set metrics button. Set metrics reads, pings off the server and tells you which variables are capable of being connected or pulled. So I'm going to pull this information and we'll set the metrics. Now we will select this first server and connect to it. Now it's successfully pulling from the Redfish. We'll watch it here. It wrote one metric to the table already. Now it wrote another one. So now, if we want to pull from that table, we will do select star from aggregation metrics. And this should show us all the data that we've been collecting in our InfluxDB. So this is for sure collecting data from the server on the VPN now. We updated the status so it shows that it's connected. We showed that it's disconnected, and then we'll also show if it's in an error state. Next thing that we've been working on is this heat map. So we're going to be using it to tell us which servers are up, which servers are normal, which ones are disconnected, so that we have a better visual in case on that main page we were to get into an extensive amount of servers. Next, I'm going to show you the code base. Let's see. So first, I'll show you the GitHub repository. Most of the work that we've been working on has been in the main views. We created some JSONs for our metric definitions and what it's pulling from the server. And our views, mostly we've been working on the index page. but we started working on the status page. We also created the login page. The index page has drastically been modified from what it was before. Like I said before, it only showed one target instead of multiple. So we've completely rewritten the index page. And then if we go back to RF Insight and we look at the controllers, so in the Redfish controller, we've modified some of the routes to help us manage some of the multiple usage functionality in writing to the metric database. I'll pull up our Taiga board. So our first sprint was full of tasks that we're learning the code base because this was an extensive code base before we started. Our second sprint, we made major UI modifications and updated the connections. And then in the third, we added the multiple connections functionality and did a whole bunch of bug fixes. The current sprint we're working on more bug fixes, a new Docker deployment tool because the Docker that was currently there required a bunch of port mapping, and we were trying to get out of some of the port mapping and make it easier to pull it up. We're still discussing whether we do scripts or how we manage through some of that. So currently our project had get logged back in. Our project was broken into 3 phases. And pull down here. The first phase was getting the GUI updated, implementing RF collector, making sure that the data was being stored, and now we are working on moving from full CSV to storage completely in InfluxDB. We've completed merging RF analytics. We've actually changed to pull information from RF analytics. We are working on the visualization of the telemetry data currently, and the clustering is complete, but that is a project being worked on by another group. So far we are completely on schedule. We were planning to have all of phase 1 completed by Christmas, and we should be there. So back to the code base. One problem we had with the code base was that it was significantly under documented. So we've added extensive information to the README pages, and we created wikis. We've also had multiple issues with running in the VPN test environment at the same time that the team from Brazil that is working on the analytics portion is working in there. So we've had to manage through port changes and whatnot. So one thing we went through and did was added comments to all of our functions that were new to us, and we be going in and finishing documenting the rest of the software once we finally strip out everything that we don't want. This one file has been completely rewritten by our group, as will be the status page. The other thing that we've been working on is working with Grafana.